From minting errors to rare designs, these state quarters are no ordinary pocket change. They carry stories, history, and hidden value that few ever notice. Here are the most sought-after coins every collector wants to find. Make sure to watch till the end so you don't miss the most surprising one. Let's begin with a coin that quietly slipped into circulation in 1999 but would go on to astonish collectors decades later, the Pennsylvania State Quarter. At first glance, it looks like a simple 25-cent piece, the kind you might find in a cash register or tucked into a jar of change. But like so many treasures in the world of numismatics, its true story lies in the details, in the rarity, in the almost impossible survival of perfection amid billions of ordinary examples. When the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program in 1999, it was more than just a new design initiative. Pennsylvania, as the second state to ratify the Constitution, earned the honor of becoming the second design in the program. Its quarter carried symbols deeply rooted in the state's history: the Commonwealth statue standing with grace, arm extended in welcome, the keystone symbol representing the state's strength and central role in the founding of the nation, and the bold outline of Pennsylvania itself, all surrounded by the motto: virtue, liberty, independence. But for collectors, symbolism alone isn't what elevates a coin to greatness. Over 1 billion of these coins were struck across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making it seem at first like they would never be scarce. Most wore down quickly, their details fading with every exchange. But hidden among them were a few remarkable survivors: coins struck with unusual precision, coins that never entered circulation, coins preserved before even the slightest scratch could mar their surfaces. Imagine the journey of such a coin. Freshly struck at the mint, its luster dazzling, it may have rolled off the press alongside thousands of others. Most tumbled together into bags and went straight into circulation, destined for ordinary lives. But a tiny fraction were saved, tucked away in rolls, sealed in mint sets, or pulled aside by sharp-eyed collectors. Over the decades, as billions of their brothers grew dull and worn, these pristine examples remained frozen in time, untouched. When professional grading companies later examined them, their sharp details and shining surfaces earned them some of the highest grades possible: MS-68, MS-69, nearly perfect on the 70-point scale, and then there are the errors. Pennsylvania quarters with double die lettering, misaligned strikes, or off-center designs have turned up over the years, each one unique. These coins are not just currency, they are accidents of history, rare missteps in the mint's otherwise precise process. For the Pennsylvania Quarter, a handful of these mistakes only added to the excitement, fueling competition among those eager to own a piece that no one else could ever duplicate. As the years passed, collectors began to realize that not all state quarters were created equal. Out of billions, only a tiny handful survived with flawless surfaces. These high-grade examples became the stars of the series, commanding prices that no one could have imagined when the coins first hit circulation. Stories began to spread of coins crossing the auction block for eye-popping sums. Every time one of these rare Pennsylvania quarters appeared at auction, it reignited the fascination, proving that even modern coins could achieve legendary status. Think about what makes that so remarkable. This was a coin everyone had access to, a coin minted in staggering numbers. And yet, despite that accessibility, finding one in the right condition, or finding an error that slipped past the mint's quality control, was like winning the lottery. Over time, collectors and historians began to view the Pennsylvania Quarter as a symbol of how modern coins could still surprise the market. Just as Pennsylvania had been a keystone in the nation's founding, this quarter became a keystone in the collecting world. Its presence in collections today is not just about value, but about pride, history, and the enduring appeal of searching for hidden gems. And yet, while most Pennsylvania quarters remain worth only face value, a select few tell a different story. Perfectly preserved, or struck with fascinating errors, they have crossed into a realm of value that astonishes those outside the collecting community. Auction houses have witnessed intense bidding wars, where seasoned collectors fought fiercely to add one of these coins to their collections. Now we come to the moment of truth. Out of the billions struck, out of the countless worn and ordinary examples, one Pennsylvania State Quarter emerged in pristine condition, preserved through the decades and recognized as one of the finest known. When it finally appeared at auction, collectors knew it would sell for an impressive sum, but no one could have predicted just how high the bidding would go. And in the end, this humble 25-cent piece, struck in 1999 and carrying the proud symbols of Pennsylvania, sold for an extraordinary $64,000. That is the magic of coin collecting. A coin that began its life as nothing more than pocket change now stands as a prize worth tens of thousands of dollars. The 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter is proof that rarity, history, and condition can transform the most ordinary of objects into something truly legendary. Up next, we have another remarkable treasure from the State Quarter program, the 2000 Massachusetts Quarter. When the United States Mint released this design, it immediately caught attention because it represented one of the earliest state quarters to hit circulation after the program's debut in 1999. The design proudly features the Minuteman, a Revolutionary War soldier standing tall with confidence, set against an outline of the state. This powerful image captured the strength, independence, and history of Massachusetts, making it not just a coin but a symbol of the birth of American liberty. Every detail on this coin tells a story. The Minuteman, rifle in hand, reflects the determination of ordinary citizens who stood ready to defend freedom at a moment's notice. The clean outline of Massachusetts reminds collectors of the state's critical role in America's independence, and together, they create one of the most striking designs in the entire series. For millions of Americans at the time, holding this quarter felt like holding a small piece of history itself. It was more than money, it was a tribute to the very roots of the nation. For collectors, this quarter is far more than just pocket change. Many were saved straight from circulation due to its bold and patriotic design, but finding one today in pristine condition is becoming increasingly rare. Most examples have seen heavy wear through decades of use, and only a handful of high-grade survivors remain in the hands of collectors and investors. It's these rare survivors that create such excitement in the numismatic world, as collectors know how few perfect examples truly exist. Each flawless piece feels like a preserved time capsule from the year 2000. Adding to the intrigue, certain varieties and errors make this Massachusetts quarter even more desirable. Some were struck slightly off-center, while others display doubling on the details, especially on the lettering and the Minuteman's figure. In rare cases, unique rainbow-like toning has developed over time, turning ordinary silver-gray coins into colorful masterpieces that shimmer under the light. These errors and special characteristics transform the coin from a simple collectible into a work of art, where no two examples are exactly alike. Each variation adds a layer of mystery and excitement for the dedicated collector. What really fascinates collectors is how quickly this coin's status has grown over just 2 decades. While millions were minted, only a select few are considered investment grade, and those are locked away in private collections or auctioned off for astonishing sums. Stories continue to emerge of lucky finders stumbling across these gems in pocket change or tucked away in old coin rolls, turning an ordinary day into an unforgettable discovery. Imagine buying a cup of coffee with spare change, only to realize later that one of those quarters was worth more than a brand new car. That's the magic of coin collecting. The Massachusetts Quarter also holds a special place in the wider narrative of the State Quarter program. As one of the early releases, it set the tone for what would become the most popular coin series in U.S. history. Its striking design and historical significance elevated it from a mere circulating coin to a cherished collectible, admired not only by seasoned numismatists but also by casual collectors who may have started their journey with this very piece. It is a reminder that the State Quarter program was not just about coins, it was about celebrating the identity and history of each state, one design at a time, and beyond the design, it's the human connection that makes this coin so captivating. Every collector who holds one feels a bond with the past, a direct link to the revolutionary spirit that inspired it. It becomes more than metal, it becomes memory, pride, and legacy. That emotional weight only fuels the desire to own the very best examples, because they embody both history and perfection. For some, it feels like a tribute to the sacrifices of generations before, carried within a simple piece of change. Each time it surfaces, it reignites conversations about America's journey and the milestones that shaped the nation. Even younger collectors often find themselves drawn to this coin, seeing it as the perfect blend of artistry, patriotism, and tangible history. And when one of these high-quality Massachusetts quarters appeared at auction, the bidding frenzy proved just how coveted it has become. The coin commanded serious attention, with multiple determined bidders driving the price higher and higher. Each new offer pushed the energy in the room to another level, as collectors understood just how rare and irreplaceable this piece truly was. After an intense wave of offers, the gavel finally came down, and the quarter sold for an incredible $59,000, an extraordinary sum for a 25-cent piece that started its journey in everyday circulation. That stunning price shocked many, but to seasoned numismatists, it confirmed what they already knew: the Massachusetts quarter is far more than just a state coin, it is a modern treasure. Moments like these remind us that the value of a coin is not only in the metal it holds, but in the history it carries, the memories it preserves, and the inspiration it passes on to future generations. This single quarter, born in the year 2000, now stands as proof that even the smallest piece of change can hold a legacy worth thousands of dollars. Let's move on to another fascinating discovery in today's lineup. This time, we're diving into a coin that tells a story of American perseverance, heritage, and the unexpected treasures that can emerge from everyday change, the 2015 Homestead State Quarter. Now, at first glance, this coin may appear like just another modern quarter, something you might get back after buying a coffee or slipping into a vending machine. But hidden beneath its simple design is a deeper significance that makes it stand apart in the world of numismatics. Collectors and historians alike often say that the Homestead Quarter is more than just money, it's a piece of American resilience struck into metal. The design itself is striking and deeply symbolic. On the reverse, you'll see a small wooden house representing the modest homesteads that once dotted the Nebraska frontier. A water pump and corn stalks flank the home, symbols of survival, nourishment, and self-reliance. This imagery honors the Homestead Act of 1862, which granted land to settlers willing to work and cultivate it, a law that transformed the nation's landscape and identity. The design is a tribute not just to Nebraska, but to the American spirit of determination and independence. But what makes the 2015 Homestead Quarter especially captivating is how quickly it became a coin of interest for collectors. Unlike some earlier state quarters, which had long since been pulled from circulation, the Homestead Quarter entered circulation relatively recently. Yet, even in that short span of time, errors, varieties, and special conditions have made certain examples highly desirable. For many collectors, this coin marked the first time they realized that even modern releases could hold secrets worth searching for. It became a reminder that treasure hunting doesn't always mean digging through history books. It can be as simple as checking your spare change point. One of the most talked about features is the presence of error coins, particularly those with what collectors call the extra water pump effect. Tiny dye chips on some of these coins created the appearance of multiple streams of water flowing from the pump, leading to nicknames like leaky bucket or snow on the roof. These small variations added intrigue and value, turning what seemed like minor minting quirks into treasures worth examining under magnification. Over time, these quirky names became part of the coin's lore, making it even more appealing in the collecting world. But rarity isn't only about errors. Sometimes, it's about condition. Coins struck in brilliant uncirculated state, free from scratches, wear, or marks, can fetch extraordinary prices. Collectors know that pristine examples are like time capsules, perfectly preserved snapshots of the minting process. The Homestead Quarter, when found in such immaculate condition, quickly draws attention. And with so many of these quarters having been spent, tossed into jars, or handled daily, the survival of flawless examples feels nothing short of miraculous. What's more, the Homestead Quarter connects collectors emotionally. It's not just about rarity or condition, it's about what the coin represents. For many families, the Homestead Act is a part of their ancestral story, the struggles and sacrifices of those who braved the frontier to build new lives. Owning a Homestead Quarter, especially a rare or valuable one, feels like holding a fragment of that history in your hand. It transforms the coin from mere currency into a personal connection with the past, something that resonates with both young and seasoned collectors alike. Think about it for a moment. Imagine finding a Homestead Quarter in your change and brushing it off, only to realize it's one of the sought-after variations or a near-flawless condition piece. The thought that something so unassuming could carry immense historical and monetary worth is precisely why coin collecting continues to inspire curiosity and excitement. That single discovery can change the way someone looks at every coin they see thereafter. It turns ordinary pocket change into a doorway to adventure. Now, let's turn to the heart of what makes this coin stand out today: its incredible value in certain cases. The 2015 Homestead Quarter, when discovered in the right condition and with its unique features, carries a value that would astonish anyone who assumed quarters were only worth 25 cents. Its coin value has reached an impressive $44,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $44,000 for a coin most people overlook. This figure demonstrates not only the demand among collectors but also the extraordinary way history, rarity, and condition can combine to elevate a coin from pocket change to a true treasure. It serves as proof that even in the 21st century, remarkable finds are still waiting to be uncovered, and that brings us to an important reminder: modern coins, even those minted in recent years, can hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. It isn't always the coins from the 1800s or early 1900s that command attention. Sometimes, it's the coins that pass through our hands every day. Each one has the potential to surprise us with a story, a flaw, or a history that makes it valuable far beyond its face value. Next, the story turns to the 2016 Fort Moultrie Quarter, a coin born from the America the Beautiful series, crafted to honor South Carolina's historic role in defending freedom. Struck at multiple U.S. mints, it carries the image of Sergeant William Jasper raising the fallen flag during the Revolutionary War. On most pieces, the strike is clean, the details sharp, and the imagery powerful. Yet, within this issue hides an error that turned an ordinary release into something extraordinary, though not many collectors noticed at first. It was years after its release that a careful collector, sifting through rolls of coins, paused at one Fort Moultrie Quarter that didn't seem right. At first glance, it was brushed aside as nothing unusual, perhaps just a minor flaw from circulation. But the coin seemed different, almost unsettling in its details. A closer look revealed something striking, a subtle distortion in the design that hinted at a deeper minting mistake. That moment of realization brought a rush of excitement, the kind that only comes when you know you may be holding something far rarer than expected. Word of the strange quarter spread quietly among serious collectors. Many dismissed it at first, but curiosity has always been the heartbeat of numismatics. Soon, magnifying glasses were pulled out, coin rolls were torn open, and searchlights turned toward Fort Moultrie. How many of these flawed strikes could exist? Was it just a single mishap, a one-off slip in production, or did several pieces escape the presses into the hands of unsuspecting people? The mystery sparked an obsession. Collectors began to search tirelessly for another example, scouring pocket change, bank rolls, and dealer stockpiles. And when new discoveries surfaced, the whispers grew louder. Each confirmed example strengthened the story, transforming it from rumor to fact. Even veteran collectors admitted that this era had something magnetic about it, something that drew them in like few other modern quarters ever had. At first, the market was quiet. Early finds traded hands modestly, passed around as curiosities rather than treasures. But as recognition grew, so did the desire to own one. Soon, these coins began appearing in auctions, their descriptions drawing more attention than many older, more traditional rarities. Prices crept higher with each sale, not skyrocketing overnight but rising steadily, like a tide that couldn't be stopped. Collectors debated its place in history, asking if this era might someday stand alongside the most coveted mistakes of the modern era. Stories began to surface that only added to the excitement. A young collector finding one in pocket change. A retiree spotting the error in a coin jar that had sat untouched for years. Each tale carried the same theme: unexpected discovery, the thrill of realizing that a simple coin most would ignore could, in fact, be a hidden gem. And with each retelling, the coin's reputation grew stronger, passed along almost like folklore in the world of collecting. The error itself left a physical mark impossible to ignore once noticed. A misaligned strike altered the balance of the design, creating a warped image of the flag and figure. In some cases, doubling appeared in the lettering, as though the mint itself had faltered for just a moment, leaving behind evidence of its slip. What should have been a flawless tribute to American history instead carried the scars of imperfection. But those scars, instead of diminishing the coin, made it unforgettable. They became beauty marks in the eyes of collectors, proof of a fleeting error frozen forever in metal. Over time, more variations of the error were reported, some slightly different from others. This led to speculation that more than one die had been involved, or that the mistake happened multiple times during production. That uncertainty only deepened the fascination. Each coin seemed to whisper its own version of the story, leaving the full scope of the error's rarity a mystery still unsolved. For some, the search became more than a hobby, it became a mission, a chase that blurred the line between collecting and treasure hunting. And that mystery is part of what gives it power. For every Fort Moultrie era quarter confirmed, there may be dozens still hidden in drawers, rolls, or forgotten stashes of change. The idea that such treasures could still be out there keeps the hunt alive, pushing collectors to keep searching long after they might have stopped. The possibility of finding one fuels excitement, and that hope is just as valuable as the coin itself. Today, the Fort Moultrie era quarter stands as a reminder that history is not always preserved in perfection. Sometimes it lingers in the accidents, in the tiny mistakes that slip past unnoticed until one person's discovery reshapes the way the world views a single piece of metal. What began as loose change in someone's pocket slowly transformed into a rarity worth thousands, a journey marked by suspense, surprise, and the quiet power of chance. It is living proof that even the smallest imperfections can create lasting legacies, and that in the world of coin collecting, nothing should ever be overlooked. In the last, we have the fascinating 2020 U.S. State Quarter from the Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve in the Virgin Islands. This coin is not just another piece of pocket change, it carries with it a deep story, a symbolic design, and a place in numismatic history that makes it stand out. The Salt River Bay design showcases a young red mangrove tree sprouting from the water, its roots stretching deep into the earth and its leaves reaching toward the sky. This powerful imagery symbolizes both resilience and growth. It speaks of life emerging even in the harshest environments, of renewal, and of nature's eternal cycle. For collectors, the artistry of this design makes it visually appealing, while its connection to an ecological preserve gives it unique historical and cultural importance. The 2020 quarter was minted during a period that brought many challenges around the world. This adds another layer of meaning to the coin, as it represents nature's ability to renew itself, reminding us of strength during difficult times. Such context often increases the emotional value collectors place on coins, making them more than just metal, they become symbols of perseverance and reminders of the moments in which they were born. But what makes this quarter truly special is not only the design but also the rarity of certain high-quality examples. Coins struck with absolute precision, free from blemishes, and kept in pristine condition are incredibly sought after. Add to that the possibility of rare variations or minting anomalies, and you have a recipe for a coin that rises far above face value. Some collectors even report doubling on details or slight shifts in the strike, small imperfections that suddenly transform into signs of rarity. Collectors love coins that tell stories, and the Salt River Bay Quarter has it all: history, symbolism, beauty, and a unique place in the America the Beautiful series. It is also one of the newer state quarters that has quickly gained attention in the coin collecting community. For such a recent release to already hold a remarkable place among rare coins speaks volumes about its desirability. Many seasoned collectors were surprised at how quickly this design captured the spotlight, with interest growing far faster than expected. The excitement doesn't just come from rarity, it also comes from discovery. Imagine pulling one of these coins straight from circulation, not realizing at first what you're holding. Many of the most valuable finds began this way, tucked unnoticed into rolls from the bank or slipped into everyday change. That chance of discovery keeps the thrill alive and reminds collectors that treasures can appear anywhere, even in the most ordinary moments. Every coin has a journey, and the Salt River Bay Quarter's journey is still being written. With time, examples in pristine condition will only become scarcer. Each passing year makes finding untouched coins harder, which means their value could rise even further. For collectors, that creates urgency, the feeling that every search could be their last chance at uncovering one. And as more collectors chase after these pieces, the competition only grows fiercer. Each new find adds to the legend of this remarkable quarter. What began as a simple mint release has now become a symbol of modern rarity, earning its place among older treasures. Even young collectors starting today are keeping their eyes open for it, hoping to secure one before prices climb even higher. Its reputation is only expected to grow stronger as time goes on. Now, here's the part that makes this coin so impressive. In the right condition, the coin value of this 2020 Salt River Bay quarter has reached $35,000. That's right, what was once just a simple quarter worth 25 cents has transformed into a highly prized treasure, carrying a value that many would never expect from such a modern coin. For a coin less than a decade old, reaching such heights is nothing short of extraordinary, and it shows just how quickly modern issues can make history. So the next time you come across a 2020 Salt River Bay quarter in your change, take a closer look, you might just be holding something extraordinary. Flip it under the light, check its strike, examine its condition, because you never know when an overlooked coin could reveal itself to be a hidden gem. And remember, it's not just about the money, it's about the story you get to hold in your hands. Each coin is like a time capsule, carrying history, art, and meaning within it. The Salt River Bay quarter proves that even modern coins can achieve legendary status. It's a reminder to stay curious and always pay attention to the details. Who knows, the next legendary discovery could already be sitting in your pocket. And with this, we wrap up today's video. We've explored rare quarters that carry incredible stories and surprising values, coins that remind us of history, resilience, and the thrill of discovery. Thank you for joining us on this numismatic journey, and remember, your next find could be the treasure you never expected. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories and hidden gems waiting to be uncovered.